Welcome to Doctor's Live Show. AAG Hospitals, Dr. Abhishek Katwar, Associate Director, Robotic and Metabolic Surgeon from Asian Institute of Gastroenterology, Hyderabad. He is one American abroad certified surgeon, trained in Germany, Taiwan and South Korea. Hello Abhishek.
Hi.
What is the causes of obesity and diabetes in India?
So if you look at into the scenario, almost 73% of urban Indian population is overweight.
Okay.
By overweight, I mean they have a BMI of more than 25, and almost every second person out of 3 is overweight or obese in India. So the burden of obesity is it has become a pandemic problem, not only for India, for world.
Okay.
Now, to understand how you define obesity, there is a criteria which I already mentioned, that's called BMI, body mass index, which we calculate according to the weight and height of the person. And the BMI is a WHO criteria which is used worldwide. So a person who has a BMI of 25 to 30 is considered overweight, and from 30 to 34.9 is considered grade 1 obesity, and then 35 to 39.9 is considered grade 2 obesity, and then comes grade 3 and grade 4 obesity. So as we move towards grade 1 to grade 4 obesity, the problems associated with obesity also increases with time.
Okay.
And when you look at the diabetes, so far China was the number 1 in diabetes, but now eventually we are crossing China, and we will be the top first in diabetes burden in worldwide.
Right. What are the causes of obesity and problems of diabetes?
So basically obesity is multifactorial. It is because of so many reasons, and one of them is obviously genetic. If you have hereditary problems, if your father is obese or your mother is obese, there are very high chances of you being obese in future. But also our lifestyle, which has changed in so many years. It's not only about lifestyle, but also what we eat and how much we eat and how much we consume it.
Okay.
If you look 20 years back or 30 years back, there was no fast food. There was no fast food joints, burger, pizza, nothing was there. We used to have homemade cook, which was made by our mom or by anybody who is at home, and that's a freshly made food. And at the same time, we had no luxury at that time. My grandfather used to ride a bicycle to go to his workplace, but now things have changed. We are consuming lot of carbohydrates, lot of sugar, and which is causing this obesity. Okay. And at the same time, we are not utilizing whatever we are eating. So it's an imbalance between whatever we are eating and how we are utilizing it.
Right. What is the role of bariatric surgery in the treating obesity and how it is done?
So bariatric surgery is a modern science. It's a technology which has come almost 20 years back, and it started with an experimental procedure, and now it has become very popular worldwide. And when you look at the scenario in Western countries like in United States of America, a lot of people opt for bariatric surgery. But as far as Indian subcontinent is concerned, there's a lot of ambiguity or confusion about this surgery, and a lot of people do not understand what is bariatric surgery. So basically bariatric surgery is a procedure which is done by laparoscopy or keyhole surgery, in which there is no incision. We do it by small incisions, and it's almost scarless. And by doing laparoscopy, we make some changes in your stomach or in your intestine, so that there is change in the hormones. And previously it was thought that bariatric surgery is something like you cut the stomach, make it smaller, and then people cannot eat it.
Yeah.
I don't say that. I say obesity is not only from stomach or from intestine, it is from brain. Okay. So there are a lot of hormones which play important role. Like there is a hunger hormone, there is a satiety hormone, and these hormones are secreted by intestine and stomach.
Okay.
So by doing this change or by doing this surgery, there is change in the hormones, and because of change in the hormone, automatically your hunger level goes down, your satiety goes up, you start disliking fatty food, and you start liking good food.
Okay. Is it a cosmetic procedure like liposuction?
No. So a lot of people think that bariatric surgery is a cosmetic procedure, and unfortunately So far, insurance companies in India also think that it is a cosmetic procedure because probably they have their own reason to deny insurance. But this is not at all a cosmetic procedure because we are not looking at the aesthetic part, we are looking at the metabolic part. And when we talk about the metabolic part, I am talking about diabetes, I am talking about fatty liver disease, I am talking about sleep apnea, which we call snoring problem, and infertility in women. There are a lot of hormonal imbalance like thyroid and other issues. So basically this is more like a metabolic procedure rather than a cosmetic procedure. So it's not at all cosmetic. Yes.
Yeah. Who are the candidates for the bariatric surgery?
So ASMBS, which is American Society for Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery, and if so, they have made clear-cut guidelines. Any person who has a BMI of more than 32.5 and have comorbidities like diabetes or sleep apnea or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, they are the candidate for bariatric surgery. At the same time, if somebody's BMI is more than 35, and even if they do not have comorbidities, they are the candidate for bariatric surgery. Now when we talk about diabetes surgery, the criteria is different. So metabolic surgery or diabetes surgery is indicated in patients who have BMI of more than 27.5.
Okay.
So even at the low BMI, they are supposed to undergo this surgery because we know that diabetes in long term can cause a lot of problem in retina and kidneys. So we want to save those complications in future. So metabolic surgery can be done for more than 27.5 and bariatric surgery for more than 32.5 with comorbidities.
Right. Is there any permanent solution for diabetics?
Yes. So as I was mentioning about this metabolic surgery, there are two procedures which are getting a lot of popularity. One of them is sleeve gastrectomy with ileal interposition, and another one is sleeve gastrectomy with loop duodenojejunal bypass, and it's a very complicated procedure. There are very few surgeons in India who do this procedure, and I'm blessed that I'm one of them. And because this procedure requires a lot of meticulous surgical training, and there's a lot of cutting and joining of intestine, all those, it's very complicated. But we have seen in research and in my own experience, a lot of my patients who were on insulin before procedure, they did not require insulin after the procedure.
Okay.
Some of them who are on insulin, they required only medicine. Some of them have reduced requirement of insulin. So basically it's, we cannot promise that, okay, no insulin after surgery, because we have to know the pancreatic function also. If the pancreas is well preserved and it's functioning well, probably it will take care of that part after the hormone changes. So after this metabolic surgery, there is change in the hormones, and by virtue of which there is change in the pancreatic function, and even before they lose weight, their diabetes is controlled. So it is miraculous.
Okay. After taking the surgery of bariatric surgery, is there any impact on other organs of the body?
So after bariatric surgery, few people have some complaints, like for few days they might have some burning sensation. When they eat something, it might be like they feel that food is going inside, but that's all transient because we have done some surgery inside. So it will take some time for body to get adapt.
Yeah.
So usually all these symptoms are transient, and they doesn't last for longer time. But definitely, as you said, after bypass procedure, the person has to take lifelong multivitamins, because they don't want to, or I don't want them to be malnourished or have nutritional deficiencies. So all patients who have bypass procedure, they have to take lifelong multivitamins, calcium supplements, iron supplements. That's the only thing they require. In fact, you said something about the organ being affected. In fact, a lot of patients who are supposed to undergo kidney transplant, and if they are obese, they have to undergo liver transplant, they are obese. So they first are referred to me. We do bariatric surgery upon them, then they lose weight, and then they can undergo transplant.
Okay.
So in fact, for transplant patients who have obesity, we have done a bariatric procedure for them.
Right. Lots of people, after knowing that they are diabetic patients, they'll consume lots of tablets. So
Yes.
is it, how far it is correct, without consulting a doctor, consuming the tablets?
See, diabetes is a chronic disease, and there are two issues with diabetes. One, for how long it is there, and how much is the fluctuation in sugar.
Okay.
If you start consuming diabetes medicine by yourself, or you consume some herbal products or whatever products, and if you are not measuring your blood sugar level, if you are not measuring your HbA1c level, which is an average sugar of last 3 months, so it can cause lot of issues in a way that if it is too much, then it can cause hypoglycemia, reducing the sugar, which can cause hypoglycemic coma. So one has to understand you cannot self-prescribe diabetes medicine to yourself.
Right. What are the tips for the bariatric surgery for long-term success?
So most of my patients who undergo this surgery, I make sure and I take their consent, or I ask them to promise me that after surgery they are not going to leave us. The reason being, after the surgery is done, the actual journey starts. So bariatric surgery is not a magic surgery. It's like you do the surgery and I lose weight no matter how I take my life ahead.
Okay.
So I tell them this is not a quick fix. This is like your laptop has a virus, you reset it, but if you do not use it nicely or in a proper way, the virus might come back. So I tell them I am giving you a chance by virtue of this surgery to change your life, because you lose weight, your disease will go, but then you have to be doing exercises, you have to have control on your diet, you should be changing your lifestyle, you should be stopping smoking, no alcohol, no bad habits. So that's why we conduct support group meetings for all our patients at AIG hospital, which is free of cost. I invite all my post-operative patients, new patients, anybody who wants to undergo this surgery but they are scared. So it's a support group meeting where everyone meets and discuss. So they have their own ideas of overcoming the problems, then they motivate other patients. So that's why support group meeting and a continuous follow-up is the most important thing, and it's a key for success for bariatric surgery.
Right. Adding the question to the answer, like after knowing the patient is diabetic or obese, what are the measures should be taken by the patient?
So if lot of time it has happened, an obese patient walks into my chamber, they say I'm just obese, no other problem.
Okay.
Then we do some tests, and suddenly when they come back with their reports, they are in shock because they are diabetic.
Okay.
So I tell them, I did not give you diabetes because you entered into my hospital. You are already diabetic, but you are ignoring it. So the problem is ignorance and denial. So anybody who come to know that they have a weight of more than 100 kg, and if they feel that they have some problem, like they become breathless on walking, they become easily tired, when they get up in the morning they still feel sleepy, they feel lazy, it means that there is change in, something is wrong with them. So they should immediately concern some doctor, a physician or a bariatric surgeon to understand why this is happening before it's too late. Because obesity in India, it's considered a sign of prosperity.
Okay.
People think that if you're obese, you're rich and you're happy. But believe me, even poor people, I have operated a rickshaw driver who was obese and diabetic. So people might think, why auto rickshaw driver become obese and diabetic? It's not because he's rich, it's because he is consuming wrong food.
Okay.
He is consuming cheap food, he is consuming food which is affordable. And we know that healthy food it's very expensive. Yeah. So one who has come to know that he has diabetes or obesity, they should not ignore and they should immediately consult a physician or a doctor.
Okay. So when compared to the other hospitals, what is the specialty of AHA hospital?
See, Asian Institute of Gastroenterology is AIG hospital which has come up with a new setup in Gachibowli, and we at AIG hospital are dedicated to GI surgery, and I don't have to mention, but Asian Institute of Gastroenterology is worldwide famous for GI specialty. So that's why I would recommend AIG hospital, because we have a team. We have a separate department and we have a team where liver specialists, where pulmonologists, sleep apnea specialists, case managers, psychologists, everybody, we have a big group, and any patient who walks into our hospital, they undergo a lot of evaluation, we discuss, and then we make a final decision that what would be the best possible treatment for that person.
Okay.
And it's not only about surgery, but also the lifestyle modification and other things which we pay more attention to.
Okay. Nowadays we are seeing lot of kids who are suffering with the diabetes.
Yes.
So what are the major issues which you have seen?
Yes. So in my own experience, I have seen a 16-year-old boy with no family history of diabetes.
Okay.
He was around 90 kg and he was diabetic. So it was shock to the family. And when I took a detailed history, I came to know that they own a refreshment shop where boy consumes every day 1 or 2 colas, pastries, whatever is available. So unfortunately, it's not his fault. It is the fault from the parents. So I tell all my patient or in support group meeting, I tell for children, parents are the first teacher.
Yeah.
If you are not doing right things, your child might consider it the right thing. So if you are eating a lot of junk food, he does not know, he is going to follow you. So if you are eating junk, he will think that, okay, eating junk is good because my parents are doing it. The next thing is, they should be introduced healthy food even at the early stage, even when they are 2 years or 1 year old. Most of the time, our children are overfed by their mom or grandmoms, and they feed lot of, this artificial feeds. So in my opinion, whatever you are eating, share it from your plate and introduce lot of varieties of food to them, because that is the time when they are very young, they develop this taste.
Okay.
So if parents are not eating green leafy vegetables, and when he becomes obese at the age of 16 and the mother start pushing the child, eat green leafy vegetable, he won't eat it because he never ate it in past life.
Okay.
And in fact he would say, when you are not eating it, why I should be eating it?
Yeah.
So it is a family affair. If you follow the healthy lifestyle, your children are going to follow it automatically. You don't have to tell them.
Exactly.
So in children, lot of programs are going on, because Indian government is also worried. There are a lot of programs going on different schools about childhood obesity.
Okay.
The next part is, unfortunately in India, giving candies and giving chocolates is considered showing way of affection.
Yeah.
And I tell you, chocolates and all these sweets, they are the biggest enemy of our life, because sugar addiction is more dangerous than a drug addiction. It's more dangerous than cocaine.
Okay.
If you are addicted to sugar, it's very bad, because you cannot find drugs or cocaine or all those stuff in a supermarket, but
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
easily find sugar, candies in any supermarket. So it's easily accessible and it's not expensive also.
Yeah.
So one should be very careful about giving chocolates and junk food to the children.
Right. After a short break, we will deeply discuss about the obesity, diabetes. Abhishek, infertility is a major problem in modern society. How can bariatric surgery can helpful for it?
So infertility, as we are observing, there are many reasons for infertility. One is, earlier females used to get married between 20 to 30 years. Now because of professional career and other problems, there is late marriage. So
Yeah.
most of the women get married after 30 or 35. So obviously age is another factor. But when we look at the hormonal part, which is the most important part, because every woman has to undergo some menstrual cycles or those reproductive cycles, what we say, and it is because of lot of hormones. Now because of obesity or because of change in the metabolic system of the body, there is this change in the ovulation. So these are the women who do not ovulate.
Okay.
Now this can be because of thyroid, this can be because of other hormones as I mentioned, and obviously obesity and insulin resistance is a factor for that. So I'll share one of my own experience. A lady came to me, she was obese and the couple was trying to have a child for last 3-4 years and they were not able to achieve it despite taking treatment for infertility. They even tried IVF and other treatments.
Okay.
So they were really heartbroken. They came to me and said, "Doctor, what should we do?" So I said, okay, let's evaluate first. So I evaluated. I didn't find any abnormality in that woman. So the problem was the obesity. So then we did a bariatric surgery upon her. We did a sleeve gastrectomy, and you will be surprised. Within next 12 or 18 months, she could conceive without any treatment.
Okay.
So they came to me and said, doctor, we wasted so much money on other treatment and it didn't work out, but how come this surgery could cause conceiving? So this is because of the hormone changes which happens after the procedure. Obviously person's psychology also changes, you feel motivated, and there is change in the hormones, and this is how women conceive. But there is an advice for all people who undergo bariatric surgery. We usually not recommend them to get pregnant within the first year of surgery, because that is the time when they are losing maximum weight.
Okay.
So if they conceive during that time, it is like you want weight loss, but the pregnancy will give them weight.
Okay.
So it's a disparity. And obviously when somebody is losing weight, if they conceive and if there is any problem related to nutrition, then the baby will get affected.
Okay.
So usually we recommend them to get pregnancy after 1 year of surgery.
Okay. So coming to snoring, it places a huge risk at the heart. How can it be handled?
So snoring is a common term which we use, and the similar thing applies to snoring also, because not everyone knows about snoring, and people do not take it seriously. But when you look at the western side, there are a lot of divorce which have happened because of snoring.
Okay.
And fortunately in Indian society, women still are very considerate, and they forgive their husband for snoring. At the same time, you must have heard a lot of people, obese people, they never got up from the bed when they slept in the night. So suddenly their breathing stopped and everything stopped, and next day morning they were found dead. So what happens is, when you have snoring, it is because of the obstruction in the airway.
Okay.
So when you are sleeping, when you are awake, you have control over your tongue, your muscles, and you can breathe in, breathe out. But when you are sleeping, all your muscles are relaxed. At the same time, your tongue falls back. When your tongue falls back, it obstructs your airway. And when it obstructs your airway, when oxygen cannot go in and carbon dioxide cannot come out, your brain does not have any oxygen.
Okay.
So and we know that when we sleep, our cells recover. So it's a sleeping time for cells also, it's a regenerative time for your body cells also. So if you're not taking enough oxygen because of this obstruction, so next day when you get up, you're tired and you always feel lazy, you don't want to do work because your sleep was not good. So now when people have this kind of problem, I usually refer them to a pulmonologist, where they have to do a sleep study. When they sleep in the night, we record their sleep pattern, oxygen level and everything, apnea, sleep apnea. And then some of them require a machine which is called BiPAP or CPAP machine, which they have to use in the night. But surprisingly, when we do bariatric surgery upon them, within 1 month, they do not require this machine after surgery, because they start losing this fat.
Okay.
So when they lose this fat, and you must have seen a lot of obese people, they have double chin and
Yeah.
this thing is hanging like this. So they start losing weight and their sleep apnea goes off.
Okay.
So why sleep apnea is dangerous? Like when there is a pressure on your heart, you develop hypertension.
Okay.
So we know about it because you can measure it.
Yeah.
But when there is a pressure on your lung, you develop pulmonary hypertension, which is a hypertension of lungs.
Okay.
And you cannot just measure it by some tool. There are a lot of complicated procedure required to measure it. And when you have this chronic pulmonary hypertension, it can affect not only your lungs but your heart and other parts. So
Okay.
that's how snoring can cause problem on heart.
Okay. What are health benefits weight loss surgery?
So weight loss surgery has got a lot of benefit, and if you ask me, it improves the quality of life by 95%, and it also decreases the mortality by 85%, which the mortality or death which can occur because of obesity. So in a long term, if you see, there are a lot of changes which happen. it cures your non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, as I was mentioning about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, because non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is gaining a lot of importance nowadays, because most of the liver transplant which are being done in today's time, it's not in people who have liver disease because of alcoholism or liver disease because of hepatitis. It is because they had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease which progressed, became NASH and cirrhosis because of obesity.
Okay.
So the problem of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is also important. Then there are multiple benefits. You will be surprised to know that obesity is associated with many cancers,
Okay.
like breast cancer, colon cancer and other cancer. So once you have this weight loss surgery, obviously your chances of getting those cancers because of obesity comes down drastically. The problem of migraine, polycystic ovaries, cholesterol and other issues, they also comes down along with diabetes.
Okay. Right. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. Like lots of people will don't maybe not awareness of the bariatric surgery, diabetes and obesity. What are the measures and causes? Right. Thank you so much. You have explained very clear.
Thank you so much.
So చూసారు కదండి, ఇది వాళ్ళ డాక్టర్స్ లైవ్ షో. కీప్ వాచింగ్ ఐ న్యూస్.